What's up, beautiful people? We're back with another driving video. That's right, today we're going to be driving from Lexington to Chapin, South Carolina. So let's get started. And for those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Brandon. Not only am I a transplant here to South Carolina, but I'm a local real estate agent as well, covering the Midlands of South Carolina, Lexington, Columbia, and Lake Murray. And I put videos out every single week teaching you about the area to see if it's right for you. So don't forget to click that subscribe button, but let's get started with the video. All right, beautiful people. So as I had done in the past, I've done some driving videos that a lot of you guys had positive feedback. First, I did a drive from Lexington into Columbia so you could see what that drive was like. Then I did a drive around Lexington and we ended right here at the walking park at Lake Murray. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna start right here and we're gonna head out to Chapin, South Carolina, on the other side of the lake. On the way, there's not a ton of stuff, so I'll be sharing with you a little bit of information about Chapin on the way there, but there really isn't much to point out. Lots of neighborhoods, things like that. But basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna head across the dam, head down Highway 6 all the way into Ballantyne. Where Ballantyne is, there is some shopping that I'll point out when we're there. There's Walmart, Chick-fil-A, restaurants, groceries, things like that. Then we'll take a left, take it all the way into downtown Chapin where there is some more shopping and things like that. Once we get to downtown Chapin, what I'm gonna do to give you more perspective is turn, head back to the interstate and take 26 back into this direction. That way you can kind of see both ways in and out of Chapin. Of course, there are other ways, but the main drags in and out so you can kind of get a better perspective. So let's hop in the car and let's head to Chapin. All right, so as we take off here from the running park at Lake Murray, I did start on this side of the dam so we can drive across because I know plenty of you love Lake Murray. Every time people come down, they're always amazed by how big it is, so we're gonna head across the dam. But as we kind of kick off, like I said, there's not a ton of stuff along the way to point out, like the drive around Lexington. However, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be pointing out some of the neighborhoods I've made videos about, especially during the Lake Murray series. I'll give you a little bit of background here about Chapin, and then if there are some restaurants, shopping, things like that, I will point those out. But so as we kind of kick off, to give you a little bit of background about Chapin. Chapin is known as the capital city of Lake Murray. It was actually established as a town back in 1889. The town itself is actually only 2 square miles with a population of 1,633, and that was as of the 2019 census. Now, for most people, what they think of Chapin is actually the zip code of Chapin, which actually covers 70 square miles and is a population of 19,140 in that 2019 census. So definitely has that small town feel, but not too far from everything. And you'll see that, as I said, once we get into Chapin, I'm going to come back and take the interstate back towards, Columbia, the other parts of Irmo, Lexington, things like that. So you kind of really get that sense of how far out it is. So Chapin itself is going to be zoned for the award-winning Lexington-Richland 5 school district. And the reason it is Lexington-Richland 5 is because on this drive, this school district splits between Lexington County and Richland County. So as well, kind of give you a little more information about Chapin, things people always ask about. There is a Lexington Medical Urgent Care in Chapin. There is plenty of free Lake Murray access, boat ramps, as well as beaches that you can go to. There is the Dreher Island State Park, as well as Crooked Creek Park, which is a large recreational facility. But when we come up here to make a left, if you continue straight, that's actually gonna take you right into Irmo. And if we continue up, it's gonna take you to the interstate. So when we come back down the interstate, I'm gonna point out this off-ramp so that way you kinda know basically where direction we are coming back from the interstate to here. So if you turn here, Yacht Cove is down this way. So left here turns you into the Clearwater neighborhood. So making a left here, the Palms at Rocky Point is down this road. Left here will turn down to where Tatler's Wharf is. If you make a right here, you'll end up at Livingston Place by Great Southern Homes where I did that video. All right, so as we make a left here, we are in what's called Ballantyne. Right here in Ballantyne, if you make a right, you're gonna run into the Walmart. There's Chick-fil-A, Freddy's, Tractor Supply, Arby's, and so much more. So there's a couple different ways to get to the Portrait Hill neighborhood, but one of them is if you turn right here, head up a little ways and make a left, you'll run into Portrait Hill. So down this left is where you'll find Liberty at the Lake, amazing restaurant with views of the lake, Lakeside at Ballantyne, as well as Lakeport. So at this Shell station, if we turn right, you go down about a mile, that's gonna take you to the interstate. So depending on where you live in Chapin, if you live on this side, this is gonna be the quickest way back to the interstate to head back towards Columbia and Lexington. here, you'll hit Cedar Cove. So if you turn left here on Wessinger, it's where you actually run into Wessinger Farms as well as Palmetto Shores. Now there is another option cutting through Chapin, but this is that first option. So if you make a left here, this is another way to get down to Wessinger Farms, Palmetto Shores, Creekside at Chapin Place, and the Crooked Creek Park. So in Chapin itself, you'll see there's tons of local restaurants, shops, things like that. But there are a Lowe's grocery store, a Publix grocery store, as well as a Food Lion. So at this light where we're turning right, if you turn left, it'll actually take you down to where Paradise Cove, Night Harbor, and Timberlake are. All right, so as we come down this road, you'll see on the right is Chapin High School. On the left is a new shopping center that has Move Fitness, local gym, as well as a bunch of different restaurants and shops. So as we get on the interstate, if you continue straight, this is another way to get to Portrait Hill. Like I said, there's many different ways to get to Portrait Hill on this trip. right, so as we come down the interstate here, this first exit is where I was telling you that Shell station we turned, so about a mile back is gonna take you to that. If you turn left, it'll actually take you to Portrait Hill.
So the second exit is Broad River, which if you take it to the right, this is actually going to take you back in to Ballantyne, if you remember where we turned left there. right, and so this third exit is gonna be Lake Murray Boulevard. If you make a left, that's gonna take you to Park Ridge Hospital, which is part of the Prisma system. If you make a right and head down 4 miles, that's gonna take us back to the dam where we originally turned left at that right, and I mentioned you, right took you into Irmo and back to the interstate. So 4 miles from here is back to that intersection. So this fourth exit is gonna be Harbison. Harbison is where there is the Columbiana Center Mall, tons of shopping, restaurants, things like that.
There's only one phone call that you need to make. In Columbia, Brandon Garon is a real estate agent dedicated to helping families relocating to South Carolina. Contact the agent I trust in Lexington and all of the Midlands, Brandon Garon, and visit him online at brandongaron.com.